Yo, 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 what's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome to this week's episode of Articulate Thoughts, which is a personal blog of mine where I share some thoughts, ideas, observations, and experiences about conscious dance, which is a movement practice that uses dance as a form of moving meditation. And this week's topic is hit or miss, and it's also known as do or die. Been very deep philosophical concept that's been popping up into my experience quite a bit. But maybe we could dive into that a little bit deeper later on. But right now, the application to the concept of hit or miss really kind of got ingrained into this dancing realm when I was thinking a lot about Dance Dance Revolution. Now, if you're not familiar with Dance Dance Revolution, I think you should look it up and you should try it out if you've never played it before. If you don't know what it is, it's basically a dancing simulator game where there's 4 arrows and you kind of they play a song, and on the screen there's the arrows on the top, and as the beat goes there's arrows that kind of overlay, and you kind of have to step on the arrows according to the beat, and you can like match. It's really good for like beat matching and really get into like a rhythm, and I think it just kind of set the platform for other games like Guitar Hero and Rock Band to kind of surface level. But the DDR was definitely the first rhythm game of its kind, and got really, really big, really, really quick, and it's a big thing in pop culture. So, anyways, when you're playing the game, whenever there's a step that has to be like matched to the beat, has to be synchronized perfectly, but you also get graded on each step. So there's like a miss, and then there's like okay, good, great, perfect. So depending on how sync you are with stepping on the arrow and the beat, it'll grade you on it. And then if you land a good or like great or perfect consecutively, then you can make a combo. And then like some people like are really good at this game can like have a 200 combo, and there's varying levels, difficulties, and whatnot. But this this game kind of got me into like rhythm and movement and just feeling my body and steps, and really helped with footwork a lot as well. Footwork is one of the most underestimated fundamental concepts in any type of movement practice. And even in martial arts, you'll see the highest level martial artists have really, really good footwork. And a lot of people don't know this about Bruce Lee, who is kind of the master of mixed martial arts, is really the first martial arts practitioners that really like expanded his knowledge. But anyways, before he even studied kung fu, he was a cha-cha champion, and so he really got his footwork down before he even started learning martial arts. Anywho, so footwork's very important, and playing DDR, it was really ingrained this concept of hit or miss. Like, there's always like hitting the perfect synchronization or the perfect harmony. Now, this also applies to like singing and like harmonizing. So let's say you're singing and you're trying to match a note, and there's something called perfect pitch. Now, when you take 2 notes and they're perfectly harmonized, the exact precise tone, then you get a perfect harmony. So it's like the optimized harmony of maximum resonance. Now, even if you're a little bit off, you'll still get the harmony, but it's just not as powerful and doesn't create as much of an effect. But the more synchronized you are, then the greater the effect. And like it's really this thing of when I'm on the dance floor, it comes so intuitively. Like I'm just matched to the beat, my footwork and my body movements and just my thoughts in general are synchronized to the beat of the music. And it's very intuitive, it's very natural. And it allows my mind to enter that meditative state where it's not thinking, it's more so feeling, but there's also through the feelings there's thoughts or images, memories, different bits of information and data that are coming to me through the movements and just the practice overall. But it's one of those things that's like synchronized, harmonized. How perfectly in pitch am I harmonized? How synchronized am I to the beat? And then there's certain times where if it just perfectly lined up, that's like the optimal state. It's like the avatar state, or like unlocking God mode, where you can kind of you're on that other level. But sometimes there's just it's not lined up. I'm not perfectly harmonized or not perfectly synced, and I'm dancing and I'm moving, but that next level is not really hit. Like I don't really hit that next level. But that's on the dance floor concept. But then it just like taking it to everyday life. There's this thing of, am I really in the beat of dancing to the beat of my own drum, or am I getting pulled into like other people's dance and not really living my life to my truest potential, or my authentic expression. And it's just all these different levels and layers that kind of come to me through the dance, and like through these concepts, and like that hit or miss, that like being in sync and being in perfectly in harmony. It's a concept in music, but it's also it's a lesson for like life in general. Overall, it's like an echoing effect. And playing music and dancing has really helped me identify the importance of like this hit or miss concept. And as of late, this has really been listening to a lot of lectures from Jordan Peterson, who's a clinical psychologist, who's also a university professor out of the University of Toronto. And in one of his speeches, he talks about the word sin actually is a hunting term. So in hunting, if you're aiming for something and you miss, that's actually a sin. And then Jordan Peterson takes this concept and talks about how the word sin has been applied philosophically or like religiously even. It's kind of like you're missing the mark. Like there's like an aim to be virtuous or to be true or pure, and when you're not that, that's like a sin in like the philosophical or religious term. But in a more technical aspect, it's just like when you're aiming for something and you miss, like that's a sin. And it's like a lot of people, including myself, this sin or that miss occurs from not even trying and not even attempting, because there's fear, there's judgment, and there's all these other negative emotions attached to it. And you know, it's been a very interesting thing in my life to see myself, attempt things, not attempt things, or attempt things and then not attempt again because of the result of the first attempt. But there's really significant attempts in my life that worked out really well. And there's this concept of always shoot for the moon, because even if you miss, you land amongst the stars. And that one really held true to my heart, because I made a really big risk and shot for the moon. I dropped everything for my life, spent one entire year focused on making money and just earning cash to like move away to another place. And 3 years later, I'm in this really great situation, and I feel like I'm really settling in to the foundation of what I built here in Calgary in the past few years. And now it's time to build on top of that, and it's time to escalate and hit the next target, so to speak. So yeah, that's all I got to say about hit or miss and just the philosophical concepts of musically on the dance floor and just in life in general. So if you want to experiment a little bit and this hit or miss and kind of hit a dance floor and just see how you synchronize and harmonize to a facilitator's set of music, there is a dance tonight happening at Central United Church, 7 p.m. Evangelos Diavolitsis will be the facilitator, and there'll be another dance on Wednesday at the Evolved Movement Arts Center, formerly known as W&M, on Wednesday night. And there's also another dance on Friday, Trance dance. It's kind of like you dance blindfolded. I've never tried it before. I'm not sure if I'll be able to make it, but that'll be definitely an interesting one to check out. I'll put all the info in the Dropbox below, and I want to thank you for tuning in. And inshallah, I'll see you on the dance floor.